Frederick Henry Royce, a young boy from the small village of Wilton in England, was known for his curious and imaginative nature. He was fascinated by the machinery around him and enjoyed tinkering with engines. Little did anyone know that his passion for machines would one day lead to the creation of some of the world's most luxurious and expensive cars. Frederick was born in the year 1863, making him the youngest of 5 siblings in his family. His parents, James and Mary, owned a flour mill, but the mill didn't bring in much money. Life was tough for the Royce family, and they often struggled to make ends meet. In 1867, their financial difficulties became so severe that they had no choice but to declare bankruptcy. This meant they faced even harder times ahead. In search of a better life, the Royce family packed their belongings and moved to the bustling city of London. At just 4 years old, he took on a job as a bird scarer on a local farm, earning a mere 6 pence a week. This might not seem like much, but every little bit helped his family survive. Tragedy struck again when Frederick was 9 years old. His father passed away. Now the responsibility of supporting the family fell on the shoulders of the children. Frederick started selling newspapers and delivering telegrams to make money. Sadly, his education suffered, and he could only attend school for 1 year. Yet Frederick's thirst for knowledge was unquenchable. He spent his free time teaching himself algebra, learning French, and studying electrical engineering. He had a natural talent for understanding how things worked. Despite his lack of formal education, he was determined to learn as much as he could about the world of machines. At the age of 15, Frederick began an apprenticeship at the Great Northern Railway Works. His aunt provided some financial assistance to support his dreams. He absorbed every bit of knowledge he could during his apprenticeship, studying diligently even after work hours. Unfortunately, financial constraints forced him to leave the apprenticeship after 3 years. After quitting his apprenticeship, Henry briefly worked at a tool-making company in Leeds. He then went on to work for the Electric Light and Power Company in London. In 1882, he moved once again, this time to Liverpool, where he continued to work for the same company. At the age of 22, he started a business with his fellow engineer friend, Ernest Claremont. The business was called F.H. Royce & Company, and they mainly worked on creating electrical components such as doorbells and dynamos. They worked tirelessly around the clock for the next few years, and their hard work paid off as their company started to expand. By 1894, they were already making electric cranes too. Amidst his successes in the electrical industry, Frederick's interest began to shift toward a new frontier: motor cars. Little did he know that his path would soon intersect with another remarkable individual, Charles Stewart Rolls. Charles Stewart Rolls was a young man born in 1877 in London's upscale Berkeley Square. He came from a wealthy family and showed an early fascination with engines and machines. His parents were Lord and Lady Langatack, and they provided him with opportunities to explore his mechanical interests. From a young age, Charles displayed a knack for engineering. He attended Trinity College in Cambridge, where he studied mechanical engineering. Even as a student, he stood out for his passion for tinkering with engines. In fact, he gained the nickname Dirty Rolls for his habit of getting his hands greasy while working on machines. At the age of 18, he did something extraordinary. He bought a motor car, a Peugeot Phaeton, becoming one of the first people his age to own such a vehicle. This was a time when cars were still quite rare and unfamiliar to most people. After graduating from college in 1898, Charles pursued various engineering jobs. He worked on steam yachts and for the London and Northwestern Railway. However, his heart was set on cars and pioneering new technologies. With financial support from his father, he opened one of the first car dealerships in Britain in 1903. The company was called C.S. Rolls & Company. Charles began importing and selling cars like Peugeot and Minerva. His business flourished, and he used the profits to fuel his adventurous hobbies. In addition to being a motorist, he also developed a passion for aviation. Henry Royce, during his time running F.H. Royce & Company, developed a keen interest in motor cars. In 1901, he acquired a second-hand 2-cylinder Decauville car. Unsatisfied with its construction, he aspired to craft a superior model. With an unwavering commitment to perfection, he engineered his first petrol engine by 1903. By 1904, he showcased his innovation by driving his newly designed Royce 10-horsepower motor car into town. 2 decades after establishing his company, the success of Royce's initial car venture spurred him to produce more. Of the three vehicles he built, one was presented to his business partner, Ernest Claremont. The second car was sold to a shareholder of his company, Henry Edmunds. Henry Edmunds held dual significance in this tale. Not only was he a shareholder in Royce's company, but he also maintained a friendship with Charles Rolls. After experiencing the excellence of Royce's car, Edmunds frequently sang its praises to Rolls. Considering Rolls was feeling the constraints of only selling foreign car imports, Edmunds saw an opportunity and facilitated a meeting between the two men. Little did Edmunds anticipate that this introduction would set the stage for a historic partnership, forever altering the trajectory of the automobile world. Rolls, who had always favored 3- and 4-cylinder cars, was deeply impressed by Royce's 2-cylinder vehicle. Upon seeing it, Rolls immediately recognized its potential and, after a test drive, decided to sell as many cars as Royce could produce. Despite their differences, the two formed a partnership. Royce, at 41, was significantly older than the 26-year-old Rolls. Moreover, while Rolls had the privilege of studying at the esteemed Trinity College, Royce was predominantly self-taught. Rolls had spent his youth enjoying luxury cars, whereas Royce had worked hard to make a living. With such contrasting backgrounds, it was uncertain whether they could work. Henry Royce and Charles Rolls, both with distinct personalities, combined their strengths and founded the Rolls-Royce Company in 1906. Their early success was marked by the launch of the 6-cylinder Silver Ghost. Within a year of its release, it was acclaimed as the best car in the world. However, beyond the duo, there was another crucial figure in shaping the company's destiny, Claude Johnson. Serving as the managing director, Claude Johnson had a clear vision for brand growth. Recognizing the importance of publicity, he masterminded a series of stunts to highlight the Rolls-Royce car's quietness and reliability. One of his standout advertisements for the 40 to 50 horsepower motor car claimed it to be not just one of the best, but the best car in the world. This marketing brilliance set a benchmark, associating superior performance with the Rolls-Royce brand and driving global demand for their vehicles. Due to his pivotal role in bridging the vision and execution, Claude earned the moniker the hyphen in Rolls-Royce. Certainly, marketing is a crucial component in any business venture, but it is not the sole determining factor of success. Both Henry and Charles recognized this fact and wholeheartedly devoted themselves to ensuring that the quality of their products was second to none. Henry, in particular, was well known for his impressive work ethic. He had an innate ability to push himself beyond the average person's limitations when it came to his professional life. Renowned for his relentless drive and dedication, Henry was often seen neglecting his meals just to squeeze in some extra hours of work. Regrettably, this unhealthy lifestyle took a toll on his well-being. Despite the negative effects on his health, Henry astonishingly managed to outlive his business partner, Charles, by several decades. Throughout the years, Charles's fascination with aviation only burgeoned. He persistently attempted to convince Henry to design an aero engine, but to no avail. Undeterred and determined to fulfill his aviation dreams, Charles purchased a Wright Flyer aircraft with which he conducted over 200 flights. In 1910, he etched his name in history as the first person to undertake a non-stop double flight across the English Channel. A triumph, however, that was short-lived. Tragedy struck just 1 month later when Charles, during a flying display at Bournemouth, was killed in an air crash. At just 32 years old, he became the first Briton to die in a plane crash. His untimely demise marked the end of the nascent Rolls-Royce partnership, leaving Henry to uphold their legacy single-handedly. Henry was renowned for his tireless work ethic and his trailblazing designs, which laid the foundation for Rolls-Royce's stellar reputation in superior engineering and unmatched quality. He unwaveringly adhered to his fundamental principle: establish the best design, utilize only the finest materials, and apply the highest levels of craftsmanship. In his own eloquent words, he urged, "Strive for perfection in everything you do. Take the best that exists and make it better. When it does not exist, design it." As the First World War unfolded, the company adapted to the times by expanding into the manufacture of aero engines, a venture Charles had once proposed. Over the next several decades, the company found considerable success. However, Henry battled persistent health issues, which ultimately claimed his life in 1933. His early years of poor nutrition and a lifetime of overwork had taken their toll. Despite his health challenges, Henry's dedication to his craft never wavered. Even in the twilight of his life, when he was mostly bedridden, he persevered in his work. His unwavering enthusiasm and commitment to engineering persisted until the very end. In fact, his final sketch was made from his deathbed, merely hours before his passing at the age of 70. Renowned in the realm of engineering, Rolls-Royce has stood the test of time as a beacon of luxury and grandeur. A Rolls-Royce is not just a car. It is a symbol of unparalleled success, a testament to the finesse and quality that money can buy. With a strong global presence, its reputation extends far beyond the borders of Great Britain, thanks to over 135 dealerships spread across 50 countries. Currently under the wings of BMW, Rolls-Royce continues to stun the world by manufacturing some of the costliest and most meticulously crafted vehicles, such as the Rolls-Royce Cullinan, Ghost, Phantom, Wraith, and Dawn. These models represent the pinnacle of luxury and elegance, embodying Henry Royce's spirit of innovation and progress. It is a legacy that 100 years later remains as vibrant as ever. Today, Rolls-Royce stands not only for class and prestige, but also for an inspiring story of hard work and dedication to craftsmanship. From humble beginnings to becoming one of the most recognizable automotive brands in the world, Henry Royce's and Charles Rolls' journey serves as a reminder that dedication and perseverance always pay off. Just like how Royce and Rolls transformed their passion into a legacy, remember that your dreams and hard work can lead you to extraordinary heights too. Subscribe, like, and comments on this video if you're ready to embark on your own journey of excellence and success.